Good morning, my beautiful people. So today I'm going to show you the basics of knitting. I'm no expert. I'm going to just start off with that. I only know how to knit my way. I am still a beginner knitter, so there's still plenty of room for me to learn. But I thought that since I am a semi-beginner knitter, I thought I can show y'all a little bit of, from my point of view, of learning and what I have learned and everything else like that, since it's fresh in my mind. And since a lot of you beautiful people have actually asked me to show you guys the basics. So today I'm going to show y'all how to cast on, how to do a slip knot, how to do a knit stitch, and how to do a purl. I'm not going in the round. I am going to go back and forth as well. I'm going to be using I Love This Cotton from Hobby Lobby. It is 100% cotton. I'm going to be using this green, the variegated. I thought this might actually help you guys. It seems like whenever I'm doing tutorials, whenever it changes colors and whenever I'm going from one to the next and it intertwines, it helps you guys a whole lot. I'm going to have the stamps over to the side or down into the bottom. Please go look for it if you're wanting to go straight to, if you're wanting to come back and jump just to the knit stitch, purl stitch, or whatever you're wanting to jump to. I will have that down there as well. I'm using my Chagoo interchangeable knit and needles as well. I've already got my Chagoos on. As you can see here, I am going to use the bigger set that I have, and these are my 6s, I think. 6.0 millimeter or a US 10. I don't know if y'all are going to be able to see this. Oh, yes you can. So there, if you don't know what an interchangeable knit needle is, it's basically where you can change this, where it connects right here, to the actual needle itself. You can change these out, or you can make these shorter or longer instead of having them permanently attached. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. So the first thing I'm going to show y'all is the slip knot. So here's the end of my yarn. Trying to make sure I can see you guys here. And I'm going to go extra slow. So you take the end of your yarn, take your hand, wrap it around your fingers twice. As you can see, I got a big give here. I'm sorry, my boys are up. Take the back loop and go over the front loop. So back here. Go over, keep it on your finger, don't let go. Take the second back loop and take it completely off. As you can see here. And then tighten it on down. Take your needle, go ahead, put it in. And then not from the tail, but from the working yarn that's coming from the ball itself. Go ahead and tighten it down. Don't worry about it being too tight, because it will loosen up. As you can see here. So let's try that again. If you accidentally mess up, or if you want to start over, it's perfectly fine. Just pull from both ends and it'll come right apart, as you can see here. So let's try this again. Take the end of your tail, wrap it around your fingers loosely, as you can see here. Take the back loop, go over the front loop, as you can see. Take that second loop, the white one, go off completely. And then don't worry about it, you're not going to lose it. So tighten it down, put your needle in, And there you go. Congratulations. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to teach you is how to do the long tail cast on. So the long tail cast on is you use not only your tail to help cast on the stitches, but you also use the yarn from your working, from your ball of yarn as well. How do we do this? We just keep pulling a long tail. So let's go right about here. So from right here, we're going to go ahead and do the slip knot. So again, take from the tail's all the way over here. So take the tail, go around your fingers loosely, go from the back over. Whoop, I want to come off my fingers. It's still wanting to come off my fingers. Oh my goodness. So doing this for over 3 years, and yet I'm still having trouble. So don't feel bad. There you go. So it doesn't, if you're wondering, it's like, which end of the needle do you grab? It does not matter. Honestly, you can grab this side, you can grab this side. It doesn't matter. I just grab whatever's closest to me. Tighten that knot down and pull. So here's the working yarn. I'm going to pull it towards me so I know it's the tail itself. This is coming from the ball of yarn. It looks twisted, but it's perfectly fine. What you do is you take your fingers and you pinch them. Pinch, pinch, pinch. Go in between. Do, 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 do. And you see these? You grab that yarn and you open it up. Okay? Again, this is the tail. I'm going to put it towards me. It's in my lap. And then you have the yarn that's coming from the ball. What you can do is you can grab the yarn and then take your fingers and go in between and open it up. Or you can open it up and then with the last 3, you can go ahead and grab. Either way, you're opening it up. So first thing you do is you go around, scoop it up, go to your index finger, scoop up some yarn, go back through the loop with your thumb and come out and let go with your thumb. You pull from the tail and you did it. You got your second stitch. Congratulations. So let's do it again. You ready? Okay, so again, if you have to let go, it's perfectly fine. Just take your 2 fingers, pinch, pinch, go in between, take your last 3, scoop around, open it up. Okay, so where do we go? We go from our thumb first, right?
I love you, Mommy.
I love you too, buddy. You go from your thumb, you go around, go to your next finger, scoop it up, go through that thumb, and on out. And you got a loop there. Don't freak out. Pull the tail, pull the tail, pull the tail. You did it. Good job. Okay, so let's go ahead and get a little bit closer. There we go. So, scoop around, go back through, and pull on the tail. Let's back it up, because I feel like pulling it back makes it easier for y'all. Okay, so again, I got the 3 fingers are holding, 2 fingers on the outside. Always go from the thumb. If you're having trouble and you're like, which one do I go first? Think about it as a reading. When you read from your right to your left. Right to left. So if you're reading, you're working, you're always going from your left to your right, even with counting. So go through the thumb, through the index finger, go through that loop. Now you can let go with the thumb. Thumb's loose. And then pull on the tail. Now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's go ahead and add 5 more. I have 10. Pause if you feel like you need to pause. It is no big deal. I also have a big old tail. Now, how I knit is a continental knitter. I started off as a slinger, so my yarn would be on this side and I would swing around. But now I'm considered as a what is it, a picker? Yeah, the picker. I had to think for a second. It's called a picker. I'll show you why in just a minute. Or also known as a continental. 2 different words, same meaning exactly. But I hold my yarn like so. A lot of crocheters holds their yarn like so. So I loop around. I come down, 3 fingers out, index finger ready, thumb is out, and I pick up. That way I can hold or move all of this and my index finger stays, and then my thumb keeps everything under control. So let's try that again. You ready? So around with the thumb. My thumb and my ring finger holds it. So 3 fingers down, index finger under, lift it up. This is what it looks like. Now, each one of these loops is considered as a stitch. Here's the back stitch, front stitch. We're going to go through the front stitch. The yarn is always in the back for knit. Loop it around. And if you need to, hold it down. Pull it through. Take it off. That locks it down. Keep it loose, because if not, it'll get too tight and then you can't move it around. So let me show you again. Go through that loop right there. Loop it around. You got to grab your nail, grab your finger, pull that loop back, pull it through, take it off. So let's get closer. All right, you ready? I'm going to look through my phone while I do this. You ready? So go through right here. So you got 1, 2. We're doing the knit stitch. So go through, pick it up, pull it through, take it off. There you go. You're getting it. Go through the back, pick up the yarn, pull it through. Okay, go through the back, pick it up, go through the center. I'm pulling the yarn through. You got 1, 2, 3, 4 left. You ready? Keep going through. Pick it up. Pull it through. Take it off. Whoop. Try to go through the front. Make sure that yarn stays in the back, because what you're doing is you're bringing it forward. You're bringing it to you. And you bring your yarn to you. For a knit stitch. So knit to you. Knit to you. Alright, last one. Don't worry, I'm going to do this again. Here, I did it too tight. I can tell. I should have loosened it up. Oh, there we go. I'm fumbling. But it's okay. It's the whole point of learning, is having fun. Okay, so another tip. You see these little bumps? Bump, 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 bump. Those are knits. In a few minutes, you're going to see what the purls look like on the other side. So again, yarn in the back. Hold your yarn. This time I'm going to make sure I do it nice and loose. So go through the back, pick up your yarn, pull it through. There you go. Go through the back, pick it up, pull it through. There you go. Pull it through. Go through the back, pick it up, pull it through. Go through the back, pick it up, pull it through. Go through the back, pick it up, pull it through. Go through the back, pick it up, pull it through. You are doing a very good job. Please feel free. Uh-oh, I came off screen. Please feel free to stop, pause, rewind as many times as you need. And don't feel discouraged, sweetness. It takes people sometimes years, months before it even clicks. Before their little hands just decide to be nice to them and work with them. So I'll do it again. And I'll remind you one more time, the yarn needs to stay in the back for a knit. You're bringing the yarn from the back to the front for a knit. Now, same way with crochet. If you're coming from crochet to knit, now this is going to be an expression you're going to completely understand. There is no wrong way to hold your needles. There is no right way to hold your needles as well. Same goes with the knit and the purl stitch. Some individuals are about to do it the same way as I do and it feels more comfortable, or they alternate between what I'm about to do. I alternate, all depending upon the way the stitches want to work with me. If it decides to be nicer this way to me, and it becomes easier with my hands and arthritis, then I do this. It is no big deal. That's if I am doing a knit and a purl stitch, basically. So, as you can see here, I went to the back, and how I had more problems in the back. Sometimes, let's loosen everything up. I go through the front because it's easier to grab. It's more open. Usually that happens when I'm alternating between the knit and the purl stitch, and it lays flatter. Or I'm going from a rib stitch to a flat stitch. So again, both methods are basically you're pulling the yarn from the back to the front. It just all depends on if you're wanting to go through the front or the back. I can alternate between doing the knit stitch going from the back to the front at all times. I'm going to do a couple of fronts. So that's honestly the only thing that's different. So the difference, if you're still confused and you're like, oh my god, I'm confused. It's okay. It's no big deal. Sometimes as you can see here, this one and this one don't want to work together, even though I'm sitting here and I'm just doing the knit. Either way, that yarn's always in the back, right here. The white is always in the back, and you're always needing to bring it forward. If it doesn't want to work with you, then like I said, then move your needle to the front, pull it, and pull it forward. Here, I'll do it in the back. Going from the back, grab it, pull it forward. From the back, pull it forward, pull it off. So it's the same thing. It just all depends upon the yarn, the way the yarn's woven. See? It's knit. It can also help out with your tension and everything. So try both ways, see which way works best for you, and you'll probably start noticing that you can go on either direction. But like the same thing still applies, the same rule applies. The yarn always has to be in the back and you're bringing it forward. So let's go ahead and do the purl stitch. Now, the purl stitch, as you can just tell, I brought the yarn to the front. The yarn's over to the side. Go through the stitch. Make sure I'm in view. Loop it around. Whoop. There I am. I looped it around, pulled it through. I'll take it off. Yarn in the front. Make sure I'm in view. Go through the front. So this is a purl. You're grabbing it. You're pulling it through the back right here. See what it's looking like. Okay, so yarn in the front. Lay it against your needle because you're grabbing it. And your needle point is always touching the needle. So what you can do is you can guide it through. And then you'll feel it. And take it off. So we're doing the purl stitch. Yarn in the front. You're going through the front bar. Okay. Going through. We're grabbing it. Our needle point is touching it. See if I can do this where you guys can see what's happening. Ooh, we don't want to split the yarn now. Hold on. See how it went through? Taking that yarn that's right here. It's going through. The two white yarns right there. Through the center. And it's making a new stitch. So let's try it again. There we go. So go through, swoop it up, go through, take it off. You're taking the yarn to the back. Swoop it up. You're doing a really good job. So last one. Same thing, you're going through this front one that's in front of you. Both yarns are in front. Go through, pull it to the side, it's touching your needle. Swoop it up, take the point, trace that needle through, and take it off. Alright, I'll do a couple more rows so y'all can see what it looks like. Okay, so remember, if I'm wanting to do a knit stitch, my working yarn from the ball needs to be in the back. But I don't. I want to do another purl. So let's do another purl row. Let's bring it up to the front. If you need to, pull this down. Pull everything down. It's perfectly fine. Loosen it up. You don't need to be so tight. And if you're so worried about losing stitches or not getting this under control, do a swatch. Practice. Get a yarn out that you know you are not too concerned about, you're not worried about. 100% cotton, so it can end up being a washcloth. It's more stiff. It's much easier to keep your stitches on. I also suggest not to use metal needles, to use wooden or plastic. It has more of a grip to it. It will grip the fabric a lot easier, and it gives you a lot better control. So let's do it again. We don't want to knit, we want to purl. So let's bring it to the front. Loosen it up. Get that needle in there. Don't worry about dropping stitches. We're just trying to practice. So go through. Take it off. And if you're having trouble trying to keep it on like I am, and sit there and put it on, take your other finger, hold it down. There you go. It's the same thing. It's just you're needing a little bit of assistance. It's like telling a child that they can have training wheels until they learn how to be able to do it without the training wheels. They're practicing, they're learning, they're gaining confidence. It is perfectly a-okay. There you go. Okay, so if y'all want to know what it looks like for a knit one side, purl the next side, then let's go ahead and do that. So let's do a knit. Ooh, to loosen you up. So we're going to do a knit. Actually, let's pull y'all back. There you go. Sorry, the girls keep, or he's a boy. We got a dog here that we're taking care of right now. Ooh. He's a big old sweetness. So, here's a knit. And then the next side, we're going to do a purl. It's like it wants to be a purl. So take your finger if you need to, hold it down, get it in there. You let that needle do the work for you. Don't do it. Don't overdo it. We're doing purl side. Then we're going to do a knit side. If you're sitting here trying to figure out, it's like, what in the world? So you see the 2 loops on the back right here? Doop, doop. You want to go through both of those to the complete other side. So you push it down, push, grab it, pull it through, and there you go. So knit. This is a good practice too, because you're basically learning how to train your brain to just knit on one side, purl on the next. So as you can see here, when you start alternating, your stitches get flatter. They become a V. They're much uniformed, basically. No matter how much I stretch it out, they become more uniformed. You don't have that little bump. And the bumps is from the knit, 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 knit. The purls, more like so. Because what do we do on this side? We're purling. This side, we're knitting. So what you're seeing is the purls. Almost. Then constant knitting is what you're basically bringing up a little bit of the purls. That's how I look at it. So I hope this helps. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Like I say, please feel free to stop, pause, rewind, jump on back to any point of the video that you need help with. If you need me to redo this tutorial and do a different method, please feel free to ask. Put them down to the comments down below. If you need me to go in more detail on something, please let me know. And again, like I said, I am no expert. This is just how I know how to do the knit and the purl. Eventually, you'll be able to do a lot more wonderful things the more you learn. I was trying to find something to show you, beautiful people. I am about to start doing a hat tutorial and a cowl tutorial, and I'm going to show you guys how to do this. So after you get this done and you understand how to do the knits, how to do the purl, going back and forth, then the next thing I'm going to teach you, beautiful people, is how to do a vanilla hat and a vanilla cowl set. So I'll see you in the next one. Good luck, you guys.